that coalition must be rather busy right now. I mean, how much inbound are you getting?
A lot, which is on both sides of the business, actually. So right now you are hearing about lots of innovation happening across the tech sector and with AI companies specifically, tons of early stage development. It's never been more attractive to start a company, and certainly an AI company. And then on the tribe side of the house, companies have never needed more help to become AI companies. And so we are really helping with that sort of last mile of delivery from experimentation into really helping companies build solutions that they can put in front of the market and the products.
And look, what the market, what investors, what everyone is trying to discern is whether the hype is reality, whether all these talk of trillions of dollars being added to overall GDP and productivity is actually happening. When you're building with Tribe AI inside corporate America right now, are you seeing real productivity gains?
It's still early in, I think, the AI market period. But if you even look pre-generative AI, there have been tremendous gains from machine learning. You really only need to look at Google, Amazon, Facebook, et cetera. There probably isn't a part of these businesses that isn't running with AI and machine learning. You just mentioned it yourself. Even though Apple didn't talk about AI explicitly, it was embedded into everything they announced yesterday. And this is really the nature of how all businesses will be built going forward. And it is just the beginning of truly experimenting for many of these much larger organizations, true incumbent enterprise players who are building with AI truly as experiments. The pace at which they are moving to adopt these technologies is frankly unlike anything I've ever seen before. But I think the gains from them are still sort of in that experimental phase. And this is very much where my thesis is on the market, is that we are still so early, and the opportunity for enterprises to become AI companies is going to create massive value creation across the economy.
Well, Jaclyn, with your venture capital hat on, how do you play the market in real terms? $12.5 million doesn't seem like a lot of dry powder, even at the seed or early stage. You know, we just had Instabase on, $2 billion valuation for a company built on GPT 3.5, but it's basically an enterprise company. So how do you actually have a meaningful impact and establish a portfolio of companies that will give you a realistic chance of exit down the road?
Yeah, absolutely. And this is what's on everyone's mind right now. So when I look at the early stage market, I'm really looking at pre-seed through Series A. And these opportunities are still quite nascent. Some of them are priced at crazy levels, and others are still quite attractive from a pricing perspective. So there's really a range, and I think we are getting in on the ground floor. What I get really excited about is companies that are actually using AI to solve real problems. And so I really do think of this as sort of the new vertical SaaS. So AI will be used to solve problems for particular types of verticals, businesses, buyers, and that is where I think we're going to see the most gains from a valuation and tech perspective long term, is when AI is not just used as a buzzword or as something to get the highest pricing or valuation they possibly can, but actually to solve a real need for customers and for target buyers that otherwise is being completely unserved.
Jaclyn, is there a specific use case or area that you think generative AI or foundation models will unlock? Tell me, what is it that gets you excited that's maybe underappreciated in the market? Yeah,
there's really so much that gets me excited. I think where all of the focus today is on just how fast things like ChatGPT have been adopted, but this has happened before. So if you look at consumer adoption of Netflix, Instagram, TikTok, consumers have actually moved through these platform shifts at really fast paces. Now AI is moving faster for consumers, but what's most interesting to me is actually the pace at which businesses are moving. And that, frankly, is what is so different about this and feels like a true platform shift. And when I look at past platform shifts, so think data migration and cloud, even the SaaS wave, if these were waves, AI is the tsunami, and the tsunami, the large wave, is coming. And I think this is where I see the tremendous opportunity, both for Tribe, but from an investment perspective, is to help some of these larger companies, enterprises and B2B companies, actually adopt this technology into their business and leverage it for the full capabilities of their data.
And that takes talent. What's so interesting about Tribe AI, member-only network? The people, the experts that you have on there, how are they sort of selling themselves? Are you seeing that, are they consulting? Are they being remunerated for this? Are they wanting to take full-time roles? Is the market just exploding for one type of talent in tech right now?
Yes, it is. I think when people think about AI, they really think about just one particular skill set in this market. They think about the traditional classic AI engineers, the types of people who can build these foundation models. What's most interesting to me is one, I don't think that talent set is actually as scarce as other people do. So we have managed to actually amass hundreds of truly the top tier talent in this industry. And they're like any top employees. Many companies listening in, CEOs, are going to feel they have similar conversations with their employees, but the things that impact them aren't any longer sort of kombucha or ping pong. It's actually really making an impact. And so looking for opportunities where they can really learn, where they can earn and be remunerated for their skills, but actually make a real impact and use their skills to advance the field of AI and really make a difference in companies is what we're really seeing talent cares about.
How diverse is that talent? Because there's a lot of focus that there's bias in AI. The AI is probably going to disrupt jobs mainly held by women. How diverse and people of color women are there in your talent pool?
So in our talent pool, we take diversity very seriously, and this is, of course, I'm a woman founder who has built her career in part focused on diversity. It's something I deeply care about. And when you look at tech more broadly, diversity has been a challenge. When you look at AI and specialty engineering areas, it's even more challenging. Okay. And so we make a very concerted effort to make sure we're recruiting a diverse talent pool and staffing a diverse talent pool across projects and companies. And then beyond that, I think what I spend a lot of time thinking about is incentives. So ethical AI and building AI that reduces bias is going to be critical no matter how diverse the network is, because we all are humans and fallible. And so how can we actually build incentives into really all aspects of development in this field, such that people are actually building responsibly and building systems and programs that will make humanity better, not just make companies more efficient.